Oh Lord. It's 3:30 in the morning. We got Jeff Edwards
Hey,
from Blading for Truth. How you doing, Jeff?
I'm doing all right, Joe. It's
Jeff,
besides it's 3:30 in the morning.
hope you ain't got to work tomorrow.
Nope.
Neither do I. I'm gonna play Batman all day and go grocery shopping and take my kid to a movie, and that's it.
Sounds good.
It is. But anyway, we were talking about TNA here, and we were discussing other things, but then we ventured off into wrestling, and I was like, screw it, we're gonna record this. And we were talking about TNA. What were you saying? You try to defend them?
I tried to defend them, but they have this pay-per-view coming up Sunday, and we all know what the title match is, and they screwed it up again with the tapings.
There is no. Well, I'm wondering because why did they take Angle versus EC3 off that pay per view?
I don't know.
That's where it should have happened. You have the 13th anniversary of the company. You got Jarrett
Mm-hmm.
going, I'm coming back because it's the 13th anniversary of the company. If you're going to hit the reset button yet again, why not make it on the 13th anniversary of your company?
Yes.
The
Yes.
fact the fact that you're even having a live pay-per-view on in demand or whoever your carrier is for the first time in what? A year?
Yep.
When was the last one?
Bound for Glory,
Bound for
which
Glory?
which no one got because it was a Wrestle One co-show.
Yeah. I didn't watch that shit.
I didn't watch it either.
I'm not paying to sit up at 4 a.m. and watch Japan Wrestle 1. I I didn't even order the Wrestle Kingdom show. I got that via BitTorrent.
Well, that one I did order,
I
but
should have ordered it. But
yeah, it was good.
I tell you what I want to see. I want to see new Ring of Honor versus New Japan shit cuz Nakamura versus Roderick Strong from last week. Oof.
Yes.
Oof.
Nakamura is the
And
greatest.
then the young fucks had to come in and ruin everything. You know how I feel about them.
Yes, I do.
Too sweet me, man. Put it this way, folks. I followed those guys when they were wrestling for Hermie Sadler. It was the first time I ever saw those guys. Nobody knew who the fuck they were. Okay, they were green as hell, and when they came to the ring, they were using a six-sided ring. It was right after the Virginia Tech shooting back in 2007. Okay, I remember it because they did a 10-bell salute for Virginia Tech and had a Virginia Tech flag hanging up, and they didn't do this in an arena, folks, with chairs. No, they did it out back of a Harley Davidson store in Colonial Heights, Virginia, and it was standing room only. Hermie, I love you, man, but that was poorly promoted. But here come the Young Bucks. And the first thing everybody looks at him and goes is, goddamn Hardy's 2.0. Hardy's 2.0.
Hmm.
And they start chanting, Hardy, Hardy at him. And I was just like, oh my lord. But the thing is, when they were Generation Me and everything,
Yeah.
I liked it. And then they started the whole we got to throw 50. They're spot monkeys for the new era, for the new reality era of wrestling.
Do you feel that spot monkeys have a place on the card?
Yeah, as I said in another, I think I said in a previous episode of the show, they have their place in the card. But when I said it on my Ring of Honor thoughts, my best in the world thoughts, the only reason why they should have been in the place that they were is because AJ was with them. But if it was just Bennett and whoever else from the Kingdom versus it's 3A30 guys, I'm not going to remember names.
Matt Taven.
There, thank you, Taven,
Yep.
Bennett, and the other one. But if it was just a tag match between the Young Bucks and the Kingdom, it should have been the opener to get the crowd pumped up. That's what your spot
Right.
fests is for.
Right.
You yo-yo them, you know. But no, they went right from that into the damn title match, which the title match alone was like a fucking yo-yo, had you going up and down.
Yeah.
So it was good, but
Yep.
it has its place. But the whole too sweet me, and I'm going to be overly annoying to the point where the women think it's cute, and I'm going to hit the side pose when try to do this thing, and to me, when I look at that, and I see your IWGP champion hanging around with a couple of spot monkeys. A, not that it's Ring of Honor's job to promote it, but it doesn't make that belt look any better. And B, it doesn't make AJ Styles look any better.
It's an interesting point.
Because AJ, but the thing is that like I said in that Best in the World review, AJ Styles was there at one point. I mean, golly, you go back to TNA of 2004, 2003, everybody was complaining that, oh my lord, here we go, it's Spot Fest wrestling.
Mm.
And they AJ and Joe and Low Key and Elix Skipper. There's a name you haven't heard in years.
Wow.
Everybody was, you know, everybody was like, "Oh God, here come the spot fests." And then Jarrett comes out to close the show. It's WCW Light, which weren't far from the truth now, you know.
Hmm.
But it was okay back in 2004 to have that featured because that's what people wanted. But when you give them a match afterwards that was so damn beautifully put together, like a Jay Lethal versus Jay Briscoe, didn't need to be that high up on the card, didn't need to be that featured. I know they're doing the whole Bullet Club thing. To me, the Bullet Club is nothing without Prince Devitt,
Mm.
which now they're going to start the Balor Club, from what we've been hearing.
Yeah, I do not want to see that for the record.
How are they going to, well, if they do it, who do they put there with him?
That's the problem.
They've
That's the
watered
problem.
everybody down. What do you put Hideo Hitami with him?
Yeah, probably.
And who else would you put? You would put that black guy who keeps getting looking for his partner every week on NXT. What's his name? Jordan? Jason Jordan, I think it is.
Yes, yes.
He's actually pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I could see him being put in there because he's like Shelton Benjamin, you know. But-
What about any WWE current roster members
Oh man,
that are lost? Would you put in there?
You know who I would give a push to? And this is going to sound crazy. Well, there's one or two people. You can't have them both in there because it would be too much. But either Dolph Ziggler, or if you really want to go into left field, you pull Ziggler out of, or Zack Ryder out of Mothballs and give him a serious deal because he could be. I guarantee you, man. The fact that he killed himself with that YouTube show, like me and Rick were talking about, that he or me, I think it might have been me and Pat that were talking about it. Yeah, he went his own way and got himself over.
Yes.
But the fact is that he got himself over.
Yeah.
So his greatest rise was also his greatest downfall.
You could say he introduced the WWE to social media.
Yeah,
at the
but
time.
the thing is that they were like, "Oh, what is this?" They knew it was there. WWE was promoting Facebook and everything like that, and it wasn't as prominent then as it is now. But
right.
they would have gotten there sooner or later. Mark my words. But I mean, yeah, everybody says he introduced them. He did, but again, it's also his greatest downfall because once they introduced him to it, it's like, okay, if you want to be on social media, we got to put you there.
Not to switch gears on you from WWE NXT, but I have a question.
What's that?
TNA Slammiversary, King of the Mountain. Did you see what the prize is going to be?
I didn't, and I'm just sitting there going, if it's not for the belt, what is Jarrett coming back for?
Apparently, if you go to impactwrestling.com, they have an article about the King of the Ring Championship.
Oh my God.
Now, I've been saying for months.
Jerry McDevitt, where are you? We got a copyright claim.
I've been saying for months that they need a secondary title.
They got rid of it.
They had a TV title and got rid of it. Now, the question becomes, if they do create a King of the Mountain Championship, does that mean that it is a secondary title? Does that mean it is defended once a year at Slammiversary, which doesn't make sense? Why would you make a title for that?
Is every match a King of the Mountain match for it?
That's the other question. And it's typical TNA. We started talking. I try to defend things that they do, and then when it's presented to them and it's right there in front of them, they usually drop the ball. I don't know. I just don't know why they wouldn't create a secondary title that is just a United States title, an Intercontinental title,
whatever you want to call it.
The TV title, bring it back.
Which everybody goes, all TV titles are worthless, but you know, and that's why Vince doesn't like the idea of a TV championship. Yet it's a, you know, TNA is a TV based product. Why not have a TV champion? You don't even tour anymore, hardly.
I agree.
Ring of Honor tours more than TNA. How sad is that?
Yep.
All you TNA fanboys out there, go to one of their house shows if you can find one. My problem with Ring of Honor is it's the same places every 2 to 3 months. How much can you really go to Dearborn, Michigan?
Yes.
Where the fuck is Dearborn, Michigan?
I couldn't tell you.
They used to come, I remember when, back before the Sinclair deal, they used to come to Manassas, Virginia, and would sell out. They used to run like this little soccer arena, indoor soccer field thing.
Hmm.
They'd tarp off half of it and pack 500 in there, easily. And then they would sit there, and which one of my favorite matches of all time, which was Dirty Ernie Osiris. They were with, oh, fuck. It was Colt Cabana, Necro Butcher, and Grizzly Redwood versus Dirty Ernie Osiris. Two other guys. They were all with Prince Nana.
Mm.
And it's on YouTube, if you can find it. And there's a point in the match where Necro, or actually Colt Cabana, like he sees that Necro and Redwood wrestle barefoot. So the crowd he goes, oh, maybe I can do better in the match if I wrestle barefoot. So the crowd starts chanting wrestle barefoot. So he takes off his socks and his kick pads and everything and wrestles barefooted and does the whole, you know, Chief J Strongbow deal where he leads him around the ring doing the Indian skip or whatever.
Right.
And then there's a moth flying around the ring because of the lights, and Cabana kills the moth and points at the referee. He points, who's the referee? Sinclair?
Yeah.
And he points
Todd
at
Sinclair.
Todd Sinclair, the big guy. He points at because Sinclair, like, get that out of the ring. I'm not touching that. Even though he just clapped and killed it. But Sinclair scoots it over with his boot right in front of Necro. And me and my friend Robert are sitting there going, oh, Lord, it's coming. And I'm like, I look at Robert and I go, watch this. And he goes, what do you mean? About that time, here comes the crowd. Eat the bug. Eat the bug. Necro picks it up, looks at it, down the hatch. And this is while the match is going on. But
Of course.
my thing with Ring of Honor, and they mentioned it on a Ring of Honor episode not too long ago. You know, Steve Carino's from North Carolina. And they have not ran a show down here since they did that one in Charlotte when Jim Cornette was with them.
Yeah.
They haven't been. They'll go to Atlanta, they'll go to Florida, and they'll go to Texas. They won't touch the Mid-Atlantic area for shit unless you go to Baltimore, which is 6 hours away. But they won't come to Virginia.
Hmm.
I know why they won't come to Virginia. It's because of licensing and athletic commission purposes. But
Okay.
North Carolina, if you could rent a building, they're not. You could run a show. You know.
Right.
I don't know why they won't come here. Pennsylvania, did you go to any of the shows when they were up there at Sands? Or do you live too far away?
No, I'm actually pretty close to there, but I did not
That's up
go.
in Bethlehem. I've actually been to
Yes.
that casino. I haven't been inside of it. I was up there when they were still building it. Because when I used to drive a truck for a living, how you got back and forth to the terminal up there in Allentown was I took a bus from Virginia up there. And one of the stops on the trip, when you took either Beaver Trail Lines or whatever the local bus route is, one of the stops was at the casino.
Okay.
And that place is beautiful lit up at night.
Yes. Yes. It's a nice place.
I didn't know they had an arena like that in there, though. But, oh, man. But no, NXT is just the whole Balor Club thing. If I'm Finn Balor, like I said, he's going to win the NXT title on the 4th.
Yes.
And my huge thing is my way to book it, and everybody says I'm full of shit, but if I'm booking it, I sit there and I would have Owens drop the title to Balor. Balor goes off within an NXT, and I bring Hideo Itami back as a heel, or what you do to get the whole Bullet Club or Balor Club thing is that you reveal that Balor is the one that took Itami out.
That makes sense.
You go from there.
Yep.
But Owens is now full-time on Raw, okay? He's a made man. Thanks to John Cena. I'm putting Cena over. I hate John Cena, but I'm putting him over here. But I would have, honestly, when Owens comes out there, I would have Lesnar win the belt at Battleground, and you go right into Lesnar versus Owens at SummerSlam.
Wow.
And you have Owens come out there. I know I've said this before. People are probably sick of me saying it. But Brock Lesnar comes out there with Paul Heyman, and he does the whole Brock Lesnar, WWE Champion, blah, 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 blah. And then all of a sudden, Owens music, which please get Owens a new fucking Tron. I'm sick of seeing the NXT shit on Raw. But it'd be crazy if Owens came out there and goes, you know what? Which isn't their match at Battleground for the U.S. title anyway?
It is, yes.
See,
I'm actually personally confused by that because if Owens loses that belt,
if
does he
Lo-
go?
if Owens loses the NXT title,
No, if Owens loses in the U.S. title match,
mm-hmm.
he goes back down to NXT. Then what? Drops the belt, and how does he look when he comes back up?
Yeah, it puts him in a spot, and this is the rubber match with him and Owen, or with him and Cena. So you
Yeah.
almost logic says that you have Owens win this to put
Yes.
Owens to that next level.
And then they're going to be backed into a corner because he has to drop that NXT belt at some point too.
Well, he's gonna. Well, the July 4th thing takes place before Battleground,
Okay.
so you drop that, and you know they're doing it right. But if I were doing it, I wouldn't have made the match for the NXT title. I would have just been bragging rights because the two matches beforehand spoke for themselves to where you don't need the title involved. Maybe by the third match you do, but I don't know. But
Yeah.
if he loses that, even if he loses it and doesn't, he's not going back down to NXT if he loses. He's a part of that main roster now. You can't have him go back down.
I agree.
So even if he loses to John Cena, Owens' track record has spoken for itself up to this point. You know what Owens can do to people like John Cena, if anybody's watching the network, to a Sami Zayn. And the thing was, up until John Cena, you only saw Owens do squash matches.
Yes.
So Owens, I will say Cena made Owens 100%. But if I were doing it, I would have Brock versus Owens at SummerSlam. And I would have Owens come out there and go, you know what? Even if he does win the U.S. title, you know what? I have this belt, but that means more money to me. And you and I were both prize fighters.
Prize fighters.
We're both prize fighters, That's not a championship. We can't call it a belt. That's not a championship that you have around your shoulder. That's a dinner plate for my family.
Mm.
And that one's a lot bigger than this one. Fit a lot more food on there, and I love to eat. Maybe he rubs his belly, does the whole big country Roy Nelson bit, which would ruin him. But I'd like to see it, But
Yeah.
because Owens is brash enough to where he could get away with it, and it would work. But then you're off to the races, and you have Paul Heyman cutting promo for promo with Owens, which would be fantastic.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then I say you have Owens win. It's hot shotting for sure, but
Yes.
you have Owens win the belt. Maybe Samoa Joe wins the Rumble. And far-fetched as it may seem, and as markish as it may seem, Owens versus Joe at Mania.
Yeah.
Come on. It's like, how can you not see that? If Joe is still there, man. If Joe is still there. Because I got a feeling Joe is going to sit there and go, this ain't working out for me. I want more than just being in the developmental territory and putting these guys over.
I have the same feeling. I'm very confused by that. I think the one of the glaring things that got me scared was the debut of Samoa Joe on NXT with Owens in the ring. They had their little standoff, stare down, and Owens, classic move, hops out of the ring, goes back up to the ramp. I thought to myself, why the hell did that not close Raw?
Because in their eyes, nobody knows who Joe is. But doesn't they mention on WWE's website that he's been in,
Yes.
Or
Yep.
no, wait, it was Josh fucking Matthews. How can anybody know who Joe is, man, if they're not watching us?
Yes.
How do those people? Because it's Orlando. The same people who have been going to TNA tapings for the last 10 years are now going to the damn NXT tapings.
Good point.
It's a hop, skip, and a jump away.
I'm just a little nervous that McMahon doesn't feel the same way that Triple H does.
And that leads me to my point of all the NXT guys getting buried. And why, as we said, off air, if you're in NXT, you're begging not to be called up right now, at least is my mentality.
Yep.
Because Vince is going to... I'm surprised Vince didn't do it with Owens. Who the fuck is this fat bastard?
Yeah. Yep.
Go work out, pal. I'll see you on the cover of Muscle and Fitness, shaking your ass.
This is the best you got, Paul.
That's the best you got. You look more like a Paul Heyman guy. That's what we'll do. We'll put you with Paul. Paul, go book NXT. Which Paul Heyman booking NXT? What? There's a thought.
Yep.
3:45. I'll tell you the reason why I wanted to get on the phone with you, man, is because I had. This is going to sound gross, but I had Domino's Pizza earlier. A Jim Cornette favorite, by the way, people. I'm a huge Jim Cornette mark, if you don't know Jeff. But anyway. And I got a bad case of heartburn, so much so that I was just like, is this what fucking labor feels like? I was looking at my girlfriend, is this what labor feels like? Because it's like right there in my stomach, man. And she goes, not even close. So I had like the worst case of heartburn. And Jeff Edwards must have healing powers because it's gone away now.
Ah.
That and I have Sprite here in my cup. So another Jim Cornette home remedy. But for those who don't know, because this is going to go up on YouTube, I'm recording my ugly fat ass here. Tell everybody, you're on my show. Tell everybody who you are, where you came from, Jeff.
Jeff Edwards, Blading for Truth, 1640, PWPR.
You have a music background. That's why the microphone sounds so good there.
Ah, yes.
It's nice.
Thank you. I try.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to spend money to make money. But anyway, oh, man. So, New Japan, you're not going to watch you're not going to get up at 5:30 and watch the Japan special on the network?
I think I can try and catch it when I wake up.
See, there's something about that makes me want to watch it live, and something about them airing the live specials like that, because you never know what they're going to cut out of it and post and put up
That's
as
true.
far as replays.
True.
Kind of like what they've done with their pay-per-views.
Mm-hmm.
So,
I would like to, but no promises.
I'm gonna have the alarm set. I'm off that day actually, and I'm gonna have the alarm set, and I'm gonna be a mark and wake up and watch it. That's why on some of my videos I put at the end, "Stupid Mark Productions." Stupid Mark gets up and watch NXT.
Mark.
Stupid Mark. Like I said in that other video that we watched, I was sitting there at the damn midnight release for Batman, and the guy sitting there whispering to his damn girlfriend, going, "Listen to them fanboys arguing over their systems." And I'm just like, dude, you're at a midnight release for a video game. How much more of a geek fanboy can you be? You and your wife could be at home fucking, and here you are at a midnight release. You know, you could be at home putting it to good use. You dragged her out of the house to come to Batman.
Yeah.
Come on.
You're not even there alone. You drug
your girl out.
Yeah.
To stand outside of a video game store, waiting for them to call your group so you could go get Batman. Do you game at all?
I do, but I'm a little behind on everything. Yes.
I honestly, I didn't really start getting into video games until, here. I discovered Steam a couple months ago, and Steam, I downloaded a couple video games from it. I hate the fact that you have to have their program open to play the game. If I buy a game, I should be able to have it, without you low-jacking me and playing it, but did you get the coverage of E3 at all? Did you pay attention to that at all, or?
I did, especially the PlayStation. Of course, I always just have to watch the PlayStation presser.
I can't stand Xbox. I'm not a crapbox fan.
I agree.
I can't, I'm sorry. I went from Nintendo to Sega and right to PlayStation.
I have the same path.
And I have all three in my house. My stepson owns a crapbox one, and I own the Wii U and the PlayStation 4. The crapbox gives him nothing but problems.
Mm-hmm.
It won't act. They say it's supposed to act as a cable box. It doesn't unless you have it does if you have the Kinect. He doesn't have the Kinect with his because we didn't feel like paying an extra $100 for what they're now glorifying as a webcam.
Mm-hmm.
But Sony really impressed me. Really did this past E3 with the Final Fantasy thing and the Shenmue
Ah,
Kickstarter. A lot of people bashing the Kickstarter, as I said in my other video, but I feel like, hey, developers have gotten smart and have said if you want
that's right.
something, pay for it.
And it's obvious the fans want it. What did you say off air? $3 million?
Yeah, 3 million the thing's raised so far. And they got stretch goals that reach beyond 5 million. I don't think they'll get that far. The game's already funded. It's gonna be made. It's gonna. I've never played the first two because I never owned a Dreamcast or an Xbox.
Right.
And from what I've seen for the Let's Plays of it, of the first two, they're more like those point and click games. You know, you really don't do anything in them except walk around talking to people and do quick time events. But the story's good.
I was really impressed with their rollout of the on-demand television.
That right there intrigues me.
I was shocked to see how many actual networks were on board already.
Well, all the ones that I need for wrestling are there.
Yes, that's number one.
For me, it is.
Right.
I don't watch ESPN. I could care less about that. The fact that you could get them a la carte really impresses me too.
Yes.
And it's going to change. Like, I work for one of the most, or probably the most prominent cable company in the world. They're not going to like that one bit.
No.
And
it's going to change everything.
And that's when the sad part is that you still got to go through your cable company to watch the PlayStation View. Because you have to have a damn good internet connection. And with the, I'll be honest with you, nine out of every 10 customers I talk to every day tell me, oh yeah, we got the bundle package because it's cheaper. They charge you more per month. Like if you get the $99 for a year or 2 years or whatever it is, it averages out. If you get the TV, phone, and internet, that's what, $33 for a month?
Okay.
$99, yeah, $33 a month per service. I don't know. I'm not good with math. It's 4 o'clock, but but if you were to go purchase just internet service at the speed tier that it takes to run the PlayStation View, which you would need at least 50 uploading, 10 or 10 uploading, 50 downloading, which is about all I could get in my area. You're going to pay $50 a month for internet access. $50 a month, you could go buy a cheap satellite package from Dish. USA Network may not be on that package, but
Right.
do you think the cable companies follow suit and start offering a la carte deals, though?
Right now they do, like you're saying, you have to have the cable connection. So I don't know if there's a way around that for PS4.
No, there's not.
There's not.
No, you got to be connected to the internet to do anything.
So I think their cheapest package, from what I read, was $50. I think it was $49.99 for the PlayStation View cheapest package, which does have a lot of channels on it.
But the packages are getting ready to go away. Holiday time when you can, and here's the deal. How much per station is it? Are you going to have a set rate of, oh, it's $10 a month per channel or five? Well, you can't really do $10 a month, but then again, look at what WWE does.
Yeah, true.
Or is it, okay, Destination America is only in this many homes, so they're going to charge $5. USA Network's going to charge 10. We'll put your local channels in there for a bundle for 15 a month.
Right.
You know, because that was a big deal about, a lot of people don't realize that with satellite back in the day, you had to pay extra for your local channels.
Yes.
And you were lucky if you didn't live if you lived in a rural area, a certain mile away from a major city in your state, you didn't get local channels.
That's right.
Back in my day.
There's also the question of, too, will it work right away? Will they have WWE Network issues like Netflix when they opened?
Well, New York, Chicago, and Philly have had it for a couple of months now, since December, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Let's see, when did it launch? Hold on. You got me wondering this shit. No. It launched. Come on. Oh, really? I hate like these articles that want to take you to like CNET and places like that for this shit. Okay, do they even talk about it in this article? I want to say it launched PlayStation View. Here we go. Oh, it takes you right to this thing. Okay. PlayStation View. It doesn't say when it launched here on the article that I'm reading, but I want to say it started early this year. It was well before E3. Well before E3. And I was pissed when I saw it. I was like, "Wow, what is this?" And then they said only in New York, Philly, and Chicago, and I was like, "Really? Why do they do that?" I mean, I know it's population, but and New York, shit. You're in New York, man. If you got those kind of channels, and you know, TV ain't cheap up there, from what I understand.
No.
People complain about prices all the time where I work, and it's just like, you know what? Be glad. It's like, what do you want? You want us to go back to horse and buggy too? It's inflation. Prices always are going to rise. And especially when they got you by the balls now, and that's probably what's going to scare cable companies the most. And I can see a couple of FCC lawsuits being brung on against this, because if you live in an area where the only cable company you have is like a Time Warner or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then these people come in, I'm scared. I'm scared because they're scooping up your rights right underneath you. Because if you live in an area that's Time Warner exclusive, you can't have Comcast can't come in the area. It's kind of like the old territories. They kind of have an agreement, you know.
Yeah. I
You
think
can,
it's interesting in those three markets that you mentioned. I believe the Comcast sports channels in those three markets are available on PlayStation
well,
View.
yeah, because they're a network first and foremost. I mean, it's under the Comcast banner, but they consider it separate entities. So if Comcast can make a bit of money off of it, why not?
Right.
Thing that pisses me off though is that I have an HBO Go subscription through an HBO subscription through Comcast, and you can't use it on a PlayStation, but you can use that HBO Go app on a damn crap box,
Mm,
because Xbox is owned by Microsoft, which was used to be under they used to own they used to be owned by or they used to own NBC, which now NBC is owned by Comcast, so it's still all that buddy buddy partnership shit going on.
right.
When PlayStation 4 came out, everybody's like, "Yeah, we could do PlayStation or HBO Go." Nope, not if you have Comcast. You can't do it. It
Right.
blocks you.
Yep.
So here's my thing, and I want to run this by you because I mentioned it to Phil Stamper and I mentioned it to Pat. With the whole WWE Network doing the over the top thing, I'm wondering why Netflix hasn't done like a live stream, and if TNA really does go for broke on this fall. Do you ever see like could you do would if you were running a company, would you do wrestling on Netflix?
Yeah. I think it's just a matter of time till Netflix realizes that they should
They
start
could do
doing that.
sports, you know?
They could, yeah. There's a lot of things.
If I'm Netflix, I want American Gladiators on Netflix.
Why not?
Not the and that's gonna be like, oh, Joe, stupid Mark. Anyway, I love the old American Gladiators, not the Hulk Hogan one, but I'd put a new version of that on there. They don't do reality television. Why not do there? And I'd put wrestling on there. I'd say TNA. Hey, Destination America pulled an ECW on you and went for something that's better. Which whoever thought 10 years ago would I be saying Ring of Honor's better? No, but anyway.
Yep.
But why not go? Okay, TNA, go down to Orlando or wherever, or we'll even rent one of our sound stages to you. Go tape a month's worth of shows, and we'll put a new episode up on there every Thursday. You don't have to do like you have as Orange is the New Black and release the whole season at once.
Right.
Why not say, hey, on Netflix every Wednesday at 8 p.m. we're going to put up this? And why Netflix hasn't gone with the over-the-top deal after seeing what WWE's done with it is beyond me. They have the rights to the movies. Why not say, okay, Saturday is going to be, we're going to be airing chick flicks or something like that, You could still go watch Netflix on demand, but have a live movie stream like an HBO does.
Yep.
And maybe have Wednesday night as wrestling night on Netflix. We're going to air No Holds Barred. WWE might not like that. We're going to air No Holds Barred on the live stream, and following up with No Holds Barred, it's going to be Impact Wrestling. And then we're going to, after the wrestling, we're going to replay it, and then we're going to go show No Holds Barred again or something, kind of like these networks do today. But I think it's a good business model, and it can work.
I just don't think TNA management may not be the ones that are going to take that step forward. I could see a Jeff Jarrett maybe trying that.
And then the thing is that with Netflix, though, you don't have ads. You start putting commercial breaks on Netflix, even if it's for Shop TNA, people are going to hit the fucking roof.
That's true.
But more people are going to see your product this way, and you don't need those high dollar sponsors because Netflix sure as hell doesn't use them.
Yep.
Which Phil Stamper and I were talking about that. I've always wondered, how is Netflix staying in business? They can't be sitting there paying for rights for all these movies just off their subscriber base.
No.
How does it happen? Somebody's backing their shit.
Yes.
But no, I often wonder where TNA. Do you think TNA folds in December or in the fall?
I'll tell you what. I think it's interesting that I know Slammiversary is coming up, but what did we see on Impact this week? And lately, we saw Crimson come back. We saw Vader make an appearance. We saw Matt Morgan, and they're all involved in this Bram angle. Jeff Jarrett comes back.
Matt Morgan, oh my lord.
Are they saying goodbye? And we just don't know it.
You got Mickie James being, oh my God. I actually saw the video that they did of her being shoved off the platform.
Yeah.
It made me laugh.
I didn't see what the big deal was. It wasn't.
Everybody's like, oh, they murdered her. And she had to go to Twitter and go, I'm okay.
Yeah. I'm still here. It's okay.
I'm still here. I think that, isn't she pregnant or something?
She just had a kid. He's actually part of the storyline, not physically part of the storyline, but
What, the kid?
The kid being mentioned all the time by James Storm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Somebody's picketing about somebody's got a sign that says Holy Bible, and it says repent and believe in Jesus,
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a stormtrooper that says Holy Trilogy underneath of it, and it says Vader is Lord. And Vader's holy, and then a black stormtrooper is going, you don't know the power of the dark side. You gonna go see episode 7? You a Star Wars mark?
Of course. Of course.
Oh man. Somebody deep fried a Big Mac. Why? Why?
I don't know what causes people to do that.
Oh man. CM Punk replied to somebody bashing gay people, and he goes, Punk 316 says, I just blocked your bigot ass.
I saw that. Yeah, I guess Punk made a comment about...
Who does he fight?
Who does he fight?
Who does he fight? It doesn't matter.
When he fights?
Mm-hmm.
If he ever fights?
Mm-hmm.
I have no idea. I think it's going to be someone that he can easily win against. There's
an article, I don't know, I posted it earlier on Kayfabe News, the whole spoof site.
Yes.
It says, they wrote this on June 14th, I'm going to read it. Date confirmed for CM Punk's first UFC fight. After months of uncertainty and speculation, a date has been set for the UFC debut of CM Punk, the former pro wrestler who made an anonymous split with WWE, or acrimonious split with WWE last year. Becky, the cute receptionist at my dentist office, has agreed to be my date on the night of the big fight. So the date is set. It says, so it's a date. She's going to come over. We'll order pizza, make popcorn, drink a bunch of Pepsi when Punk makes his debut. Unfortunately, we have no idea when that's going to be. And then another one, I'm going to share this one here. You're gonna laugh your I don't know if you saw it yet. I love this site, by the way, people. Um, the headline reads: Finn Balor's makeup promoted to main roster. Balor to remain at NXT. Sources within WWE reveal that rookie wrestler, there's a
Rookie.
Finn Balor's elaborate makeup is now sufficiently over with the fans to debut on Raw next Monday, while Balor himself will stay in NXT. The surrealist body paint reportedly got called up to the main roster this morning, having duly impressed fans and executives alike during Balor's phantasmagorical entrances. Balor himself, meanwhile, will remain in the developmental territory for at least another 6 months, while WWE exec Hunter Hearst Helmsley doesn't want to clutter the main roster with "quote-unquote" too many Irishmen. It is believed there's a Balor Club member.
Hmm. Yeah.
It is believed that the makeup will be applied to Damien Sandow, whose chameleon-like character is overdue for another rebranding. It's been several weeks since his last metamorphosis. Sandow will Sandow will portray Damien Dragondow, a toothly mystical beast that withers to the ring amid dramatic Wagnerian music, then becomes a bulging klutz doing short comedy matches. Balor will be soon replaced by Finnegan O'Blarney-Kiss, a happy-go-lucky alcoholic searching for his long-lost brother Hornswoggle. Oh, man.
Hmm.
And the one they posted today, did you see the one they posted today?
No.
With all the controversy going on today, the Confederate flag is going to be replaced with the rainbow flag in all Freebird footage. Responding to the recent controversy surrounding the Confederate flag, WWE has announced that all footage of the flag in the fabulous Freebirds on the network will be digitally altered to show the rainbow gay pride flag instead. Oh, man. McMahon goes, we would never dream of deliberately offending anyone.
That's good.
Oh, the shit they come up with on this site. Like the Dusty one. When they did Dusty Rhodes, they were like, oh, Dusty Rhodes pulls one last Dusty finish or some shit like that.
Oh.
It was good-hearted, though. Here, let me see if I could find it, because it was actually very, very heartfelt. It says, legendary professional wrestler and backstage mastermind Dusty Rhodes today orchestrated his own ultimate Dusty finish, an ending that left fans worldwide shocked, confused, and wishing the babyface had triumphed. During his career as both an in-ring performer and a behind-the-scenes matchmaker, Rhodes became the namesake of a match conclusion or finish in which no clear winner is determined because of a reverse decision due to outside interference or obscure technicality. Rhodes' own swan song, however, was a brilliant double swerve. Millions of fans hoped this passioning would turn out to be a false finish, but God refused to reverse the decision, and he took Dusty Rhodes. Oh, man. But, I just, with the whole CM Punk thing, whoever he does fight, he better win. That's all I'm going to say.
Yes. He has to.
If he doesn't, it's Uncle Vince, take me back, or he winds up in Ring of Honor.
Yeah. It's possible.
Finn Balor.
Yes. Maybe.
Really? This is crazy. They got a picture of Finn Balor in full-on makeup walking up to a counter at what I'm about to read. So just keep that image in your head.
Okay.
He's in the body paint, wearing the headdress, no shirt, trunks, the whole nine. Onlookers were all struck this morning when Finn Balor, an enigmatic Irish professional wrestler currently signed to NXT, made a grandiose, surrealistic entrance at a local Arby's restaurant.
Picture the entrance.
Yeah.
In Arby's.
Bed-decked in head-to-toe body paint depicting a gaping maw of toothy dragon, Balor slithered his way into the restaurant amid the Wagnerian music and strobe lights. Patrons watched with a mixture of terror and awe as Balor withered as if demonically possessed to the counter, ordered 2 roast beef sandwiches with no mustard and a side of curly fries. Although fans of WWE's NXT division are familiar with Balor's entrances, the staff and clientele at the Arby's were unprepared for such a spectacle. Some cheered amid the carnivalesque. Golly, why do they use big words Southern people can't pronounce? While other words wondered how he could possibly follow up an entrance by eating sandwiches. It was a bit over the top and silly, the night manager of the Arby's, who asked to be only identified as V. Russo. I would not be surprised if Vince Russo, you know, man, let me tell you something, bro. You don't come into the Arby's. Next time, no, you go right to the Boston Market and do your entrance there. We're going to take this all over the road there. Jeff, you got to do the sound equipment there since you have the music background. But we're gonna take Vin. First, we start off in the McDonald's, and then we got to work our way up to the Arby's. We got to build it, you know. I can only imagine sitting at an Arby's going, "Give me 2 beef and cheddars," and all of a sudden you hear dun 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 dun. Here he comes, slithering out of the child's play area up to the counter and does the whole thing where he spreads his arms out as the lights hit, takes the fucking headdress off, plops it on the counter, and goes, "Give me 2 beef and cheddars."
No mustard.
No mustard. Irish people don't eat mustard, apparently.
Apparently.
Oh, man. This is crazy. 4:10 in the morning.
4:10.
We're discussing Finn Balor at the Arby's. This is comedy. Only thing missing is us drunk, which I don't drink.
Yeah.
Oh, at least the heartburn went away.
That's good.
Oh, man. So tell us, what do you got coming up for future shows?
I have a show coming up tomorrow. I'm not sure what we're going to talk about. I think some Jeff Jarrett.
When you first heard that, did you believe all the rumors? I kind of blied into them. I was like, is Global Force buying TNA?
I actually thought it was going to be just a working relationship. I actually thought he was possibly going to announce a GFW, maybe a title match at Slammiversary.
Well, see, I'm going to one of their shows in August, the GFW show.
Okay.
They're doing it at the Diamond in Richmond, and if I have the money, I'm going to drive the 3 hours and go, just to see. The cards that I've been reading and the results I've been reading have been mediocre, so I don't know. I'm on the fence about it. I want to go. I want to check out and see what it is, but I don't want to drive 3 hours for ROH Light, you know?
Right.
If I want that, I'll go down to PWX in North Carolina, which is about 45 miles away from me. But
it does look like they are using too many. I don't know who is going to be GFW specific. There's a lot of Bullet Club members, and I don't know.
To me, Global Force to me was always kind of like when they did the Wrestle Kingdom thing.
Yes.
It was like, oh, okay. They're promoting that in the States because nobody knows who. If you mention New Japan in the States, everybody's going to be like, oh, Japanese, no thanks.
Yeah.
Casual fans will. And then, but if you say it's Global Force Wrestling presents Wrestle Kingdom 9, people are going to order it.
Right.
So I thought maybe they were going to do that, What if Global Force Wrestling got behind PWG or got behind a CZW or something and put them on? Well, you can't. Oh my God, could you imagine CZW on pay-per-view? Even though they've toned down the violence, in recent, they only do it when they do Cage of Death and Tournament of Death, but I always saw maybe he's going to be a promoter for the little man and maybe run spot shows.
Right.
But now he's got television coming up too. How's that work when, your owner's on TNA talking about going rah for them,
Mm-hmm. Do we know anything about the television? I know they're taping in Las Vegas, but what are they taping for?
They haven't announced that yet. Internet only, maybe? I don't know.
Possible.
Netflix? Hulu? WWE's got the Hulu racket.
Oh, that's right.
Owens suspended for eating cheeseburgers? What? Sorry, I can't stay off this website. Owens suspended for after wellness policy test for performance-enhancing cheeseburgers. Ugh. He's not that big anymore. That's what kills me. He's lost weight.
He's not that big.
Samoa Joe has lost a ton of weight too. A lot of people don't realize. I saw Samoa Joe. I'm going to go ahead and say it. Samoa Joe was at an AIWF Mid-Atlantic event about 3 weeks or a week before he was backstage at NXT, and then he debuted 2 or 3 weeks later at the Takeover special. But I was there, and it was Samoa Joe versus Damian Wayne, who's a former NWA World Champion, awesome wrestler, awesome worker. And my friend Phil Stamper, who was there at that working, goes, I asked him, I was like, is Joe here? First of all, this was an intermission. He goes, yeah, he's here. He's here. He goes, apparently Bill Behrens didn't make him aware that there was an autograph signing before the show, so the promoter had to chuck out more money for that in order to get Joe to do the Fan Fest thing. So I was like, oh, good old promoters wanting more, or good old wrestlers. The promoter my agent didn't tell me this was here, so. But he goes, he's here. He goes, Phil goes, I'm glad you came to this because I don't know how many more of these you're going to be able to see him at. I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, let's just say watch on Thursday. And sure enough, Thursday, it was Samoa Joe backstage at NXT talking to Hunter. And when I saw Joe at that AIWF event, he was at least 10 pounds or heavier than he was when he debuted on NXT at that Takeover special.
Wow.
Dude's busted his ass and he's gotten actually pretty slim. And a lot of people go, well, why couldn't he do that in TNA? Well, you know what? When they say they're going to strap the rocket to me and then Kurt Angle comes in and then Hogan and everybody else comes in and fizzles it out and everybody's just referring to me as the big fat Samoan, you might as well play the role and let the morale get the better of you,
Yep. Change of scenery will do wonders sometimes.
Yeah. But
so we were discussing earlier, is TNA saying goodbye to us? Did you see Low Key left?
He left again?
He announced again that he's leaving.
He's so in and out with that company, it's hard to tell, man.
But I just found this source, F4W Online. Unless something changes, Sunday Slammiversary pay-per-view match against James Storm will be the last TNA match for Magnus, according to Dave Meltzer. Oh, he's going to work for Jarrett.
Does Mickie James follow suit? Because that's who she's married to.
Mm-hmm. I would think so.
Another rumor that I've been hearing, I'm not going to say my source on it because I don't want to get him in trouble because he could possibly have a job out of it, but I was talking with Rick. The Hebners are possibly leaving TNA too.
Wow.
Earl's going to go to GFW. And from all signs, Brian is going to Ring of Honor.
Oh, really?
He's got to stop wearing them blue shoes, though. He's had the same blue shoes for 10 years now, at least.
It's true.
And the same sweatband on his arm. Hebner... I'm amazed at Hebner, man. Selling them bootleg T-shirts, but
yep.
I got I don't know if I told this story before, but I was once roommates with a guy who had some shady business dealings. He would basically steal stuff and sell it at flea markets.
Okay.
Literally, he would go to this guy would go to the grocery store with his wife. I wasn't a part of this, but he would go to the grocery store, steal makeup out the yin yang and about 15 bottles of Heinz 57 and go to the flea market and sell the makeup, buy one, get one free, and sell the Heinz 57 sauce and other groceries he stole dirt ass cheap. And that's how he made money. He also sold meat out of the back of his truck. He had like a deep freezer in the back of his truck and was selling meat like that. But anyway, we were roommates with this guy, and once I found out that his business practices were shady, we moved the fuck out. But he goes, this chick came up to me at the flea market today, asked me if I had chairs for rent because she's promoting a wrestling event. And apparently there was this wrestling company in Richmond that New Jack had been the head trainer of, but he skipped town with the money. Big surprise there, I know. But they were running this show at the old tobacco company, like this old tobacco warehouse that they had revived in Richmond. And Dave and Earl were going to be there. Both of them were going to be there. Of course, nobody tells the athletic commission that this damn thing's going on, and word was another rival promotion called the cops and the athletic commission on these place and had the show shut down. Anyway, the reason why I was there is because once the guy found out, oh, we don't have chairs for rent, but I also run a quote-unquote catering company. So we were running concessions for the show. We had already made about $500 in people just coming in the door by the time the show got rated. The first thing I did was looked at him and go, the commission's here. Take the money and go put it in your car before the cops get in here real heavy. So the money that we made was saved. But I remember the promoter of the show going, man, the cops raided my shit and Dave was here. Now I'm going to be the laughing stock of the damn wrestling world because Dave Hebner saw my show get shut down. And imagine this. Here I am, a green-ass fucking Mark, I was pissed off because I didn't get to see wrestling that night. But here we are. We had made all this food, right? And I'm sitting around. This was like steak sandwiches, pork chop sandwiches, good fucking food. This wasn't a hot dog and a handshake these wrestlers were getting. So I'm sitting there. I just wander into the little arena that they had set up, and there's the promoter, which I think was his name was Sage Hilton. I'm not sure. And there's Dave and Earl Hebner. And then there's New Jack, I think, was even there at this. I don't know. New Jack wasn't there. It was Pat Tanaka was there. And we're all sitting around because we couldn't, the cops told us you can't sell the food. Well, you might as well give it away. So we gave the Hebners fucking steak sandwiches. And here I am. David left because I guess he got pissed off and left with the family. And here I am with a bunch of these indie guys and Earl Hebner eating fucking steak sandwiches in the middle of a show that just got shut down. And the crazy thing was we all go to a nightclub afterwards because after the show got raided, the crowd's out front wanting their money back. They ain't getting that back.
Yep.
So the promoter goes, everybody go to Big Daddy's, which is a nightclub in downtown Richmond. You'll get in for free after party at Big Daddy's. I'm like, after party to what? The raid? So we go in there, and this show was stacked. You had Pat Tanaka, Greg the Hammer Valentine, and a couple of other WWE legends were there. But Valentine, who I love to death, opens up his briefcase because these legends, they showed up. They want their money,
Right.
So Valentine opens up his briefcase. To the left of the briefcase is a stack of 8x10s and some Sharpies. To the right of it was about 15 pill bottles. I never will get that image out of my head. I'm like, really? I'm like, he's still doing that shit after, these were like the real big, tall, thick pill bottles. They weren't like some little antibiotic gimmicks you get. It's like he had a year supply of shit gimmicks in his damn briefcase. Tanaka was cool. He signed my now ex-wife's tit.
That's a great story.
Yeah, it is. But it was good. I got drunk as shit that night. It's only one of the few times I've ever really drank. I was pissed because I didn't get to see wrestling. And the girl who was one of the other roommates, she had a brother who was a worker. And I stumble into the house drunk as shit, and I look at him and I go, chop me. He's like, what? I said, chop me. And apparently this is what I said. I don't remember saying that. My now ex-wife says that I said it. What I do remember is being woken up with a fucking knife edge chop to the chest. and then and of course it fucking hurt. So chops are real, folks. So fucking 5 minutes later he goes, lift your shirt up. I want to see how red it is. So I lift my shirt up. He goes, big mistake. Bow! Again on the same spot. So that's how I spent that night. But a lot of people go, I'm just a stupid Mark. I have been and seen some shit. What's the craziest thing you've ever seen in the business?
Oh, boy.
Live, by the way.
Live?
Yeah, live. You live up in the Northeast, so you probably have seen some shit that wouldn't faze anybody.
I guess that's possible. I am northeast, but I'm
Pennsylvania, you know.
in the middle of Pennsylvania.
Oh, okay.
So,
You're right there near oh man, what's that place with all the truck stops and shit? I've been there before because I stayed at the hotel across the street for the Flying J.
oh, okay.
You know what? You're like, oh, that's trivial. Yeah, that place.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Oh man, if I had my road atlas here, I'd tell you it's right in the middle of the state. It's it's not Harrisburg.
Is it Hazleton?
It may be. I'm not sure. I have to message you and tell you, but right in the middle, yeah. You don't hear about too many. You got to be up near Easton and
Yeah.
Allentown, where as my cordless phone falls. You got to be up there near where the Samoans are and stuff up there.
Yeah,
Because
we're in Samoan territory right here.
Because I remember riding through Allentown on a bus and quite a few times and passing off a school.
Yeah. Yeah, which is now Samu School.
Oh,
And
okay.
he runs some shows up here. They're WXWC4, they're called.
Okay. Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, they actually have a young guy, Lance.
Lance Hawaii? Yeah.
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 He's man, he's going to be something, I think.
All the
He's got
Samoans
some
are
talent.
something.
And he's young still.
Look
I
at
think he's
Reigns.
22.
Look at Reigns.
Yeah.
Reigns is there for his lineage.
Yes.
The crowd doesn't want him as much as they. Man, I thought he was going to win Money in the Bank. And
So did I.
it was like, oh my God, here they go. They're gonna stuff him down our fucking throats, even though they don't want his ass there at that spot.
Yep. I
Anyway,
thought for sure he was taking that briefcase.
craziest thing you've ever seen.
Craziest thing I've ever seen. Boy, I don't really know. Just I'll bring this up. WXWC4 packing 1,500 into a high school gym when I expected maybe a turnout of 200.
Oh man, yeah, they that's crazy for an indie event. Big Time Wrestling did that.
Yeah, and that is that's where we're at in Central PA. Like you said, Northeast. It's crazy. If
Yeah.
there's a wrestling show and
And there's one every weekend.
yeah, yeah. As a matter of fact, there's a show this month. Joe is actually coming up,
Nice.
and it's the main event is Joe, Lance, and Offa Jr. in the main
Wow.
event, and that's about a half-hour ride from me.
I remember they did a big time wrestling event in Richmond or in Chester, Virginia, which is near my hometown. And they had the Patriot there. They had Lita, Amy Dumas there signing autographs, and they had Ric Flair.
Okay.
And this was at a Prince Edward High School gym, old school gym with the pull-out wooden bleachers and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Front row sold out. Ringside's completely sold out. They didn't put very many chairs on the floor, even though they probably could have put way more. But the bleachers, the $5 general admission gimmicks,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you had so many people in there, a good fart would have given you a concussion. It was, I mean, they would have knocked out the guy next to you. They were packing him in like cordwood, boy.
Yep.
Just to see Ric Flair come out at the beginning of the show for 10 minutes, talk about how drunk he used to get in downtown Richmond at the Marriott, say woo twice, and strut out the door with his money in tow.
Yes. Yes.
I don't get how Flair still is, why people would still. You're not making any money by getting Flair to your show because it's 10 grand a pop for him, I think. But, oh well. Just like the tickets for Joe versus Damian Wayne that time was, they went up on their ticket prices, and rightfully so, because Joe ain't coming in for a hot dog and a handshake.
No, that's for sure.
But you sound tired.
Yeah, I'm trying to
It's 4:30.
trying to answer your questions. I'm not even thinking what you're asking me.
Oh man. Anyway, we're gonna get off here. Any final thoughts, Jeff?
Final thoughts.
At 4:30 a.m.
Star Wars, PlayStation 4. What else?
Got to get the new Batman game. That thing is awesome.
Yeah, yeah, looks awesome. It's on the list.
I got to get my son. My son wants for his birthday. His birthday is on July the 18th. He wants a bunch of Wii U games. He wants Mario Party 10, Smash Brothers, and Splatoon. So
It's a good trio.
yeah, it is. Splatoon's awesome. But
Yeah.
anyway, guys, we're gonna get off here. For Jeff Edwards, listen to Blading for Truth, 1640 PWPR, Facebook.com/1640 PWPR. I'm Joe White. We'll see you down the road.